Hey, what's up? It's your boy Dante86 back for another video. Today is day 19 of Veda. No, I did not make a video yesterday. I wasn't feeling it. And honestly, when it comes to Veda, I'm surprised I've made it this far this year because I did a full 30 days back 2 years ago, my first year of teaching. Last year I attempted and said nah. And this year, well, whatever. If I don't get all the days, I don't really care. But I mean, I only missed one, so shoot me. And there are people outside, so my dog is gonna bark. Nick, hey, chill. It's okay. They live here too. Chill. Alright, so what I want to talk to you guys about today is actually the state of Nintendo. If you know me, you know I am primarily, well, was primarily a Nintendo gamer. I grew up with them, I've always supported them, I love the franchises like Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, I love all that stuff, you know, and I've always wanted the systems that, I followed those systems that had those games on them. But here recently, I don't know. I remember even back in high school where the console war started, I was always one who would defend Nintendo and always keep an optimistic mindset saying, yeah, they're going to do this and it'll be okay and they'll learn. I think they learn from their mistakes. And then fast forward to the Wii U. That has to be the biggest waste of money I've ever bought. Now, don't get me wrong, the Wii U has some good games on it. The Nintendo games that are on there are great. I enjoy them. But I just feel like, for one, we were lied to. I remember when the Wii U was being announced and they were talking about it, Reggie was saying how, well, you know, the big thing they were talking about is look at all these third-party developers that we have, and they're going to be here supporting us. We're going to have games from them. It's like, hey, cool. A Nintendo console with third-party support. That's nice. And then they were talking about how it's going to have a robust online. And I mean, when they announced everything at E3 a few years ago, they showed the video chat, which was really cool at the time. They showed that the friend codes were no more, and it was just, you just had a screen name, and people could add you, and it was actually friend requests and stuff, and not that stupid crap like it was with friend codes back before. And you know, it looked like things were shaping up nicely, and they kept saying that, oh, it's going to have a robust online system. Well, that is not the case. Yes, a robust online system with no on-screen notifications. So it's the most lonely online that I've seen. You get on, and the notifications are on the little LED on the tablet, which you never look at. You're looking at the TV. How are you going to know if you get a message if somebody's on there? And speaking of messages, you have to back all the way out of what you're doing and go into Miiverse just to check your message. You have to open up a whole different app instead of it just being a small little thing that just shows you your messages right there. Why? Inviting people into games, what is that? You can't invite people into your game if you're playing something online like Tekken Tag. It's crazy. Mario Kart and Smash, you create a game and then your friends can join you, but many times I tried to send a message to somebody and say, hey, do you want to play such and such? They don't see it because the on-screen notification is not there. So yeah, that's just, functionality-wise, the Wii U is behind the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, which were last generation. And you would think that them having the Wii last gen, they would actually upgrade their online. And they did. Very, very slightly. So it's, the online is just a huge disappointment. And then games coming out without voice chat, which actually kind of require it for that style of game, Splatoon. The game looks fun, but if you're going to be focusing on online shooting game, you need to be able to strategize with people and talk to them and, you know, say what you need to do. But, well, how they're doing it, you're not going to be able to do that. The other thing that's really lacking of the Wii U is third-party support. And, you know, you can blame the third parties all you want to, which, yeah, they could do more. They really could. I will not say that they couldn't. But think about it from their perspective. The Wii U came out, launch titles of, well, from Nintendo, launch titles were Nintendo Land and New Super Mario Bros. U. That's all Nintendo had to offer. And then they wanted third parties to carry them. Um, Something that I would have actually purchased on the Wii U, had they done it right, was Mass Effect 3. If instead of just getting Mass Effect 3, they did the entire trilogy, I would have got it on the Wii U. But who's going to get Mass Effect 3 on a Nintendo console when that's the first one that's ever been there? It's ridiculous. And it's something that's so story driven. I mean, yeah, they had a little interactive comic book thingy you could go through to do all the choices, but I'd rather play the games than do it that way. And I mean, from the third party developer's perspective, you have a new console out that's using a gimmicky tablet for a controller, and Nintendo isn't even using it to its full potential. Their launch titles don't even use it. And I mean, of course, Nintendo Land did, but as a minigame compilation, so eh. And they just didn't have any heavy hitters to push the sales of their console. And they expected the third parties to do it. Nothing big came out that was exclusive for the Wii U until Monster Hunter, which was in April, after the Wii U came out in what, November of 2013. It took all the way until April of 2014, and then that was just a relaunch. That was a remaster and yeah, it was a HD remaster. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So if you were supposed to be developing something for a console, but the developers of the console can't even get real, they can't really release something on their own that is worthwhile, would you really want to put any effort into it? And then you have the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One coming out, which are loads and loads more powerful. And of course, as a developer, they want to stay on up and up and keep on going with what is current. So now you have the dilemma of making a game and then spending a whole lot more money to make it and downgrade it for the Wii U as well. It's like, I don't. It's not a good look for them. And then when they do spend their time and release stuff on the Wii U, people don't buy it. Um, and freaking Platinum Games, they did what they could to help Nintendo. They had the little partnership. Wonderful 101, which I own and I don't like because I hate the control scheme, and Bayonetta 2, which is awesome. No one freaking bought Bayonetta 2. No one bought it. Why? I don't know. But it's a great game. But a third party developer actually did what they were supposed to do, put forth the effort, made a good game that uses the functionality of the Wii U well, but they didn't get any support. So what is the point of them spending their money and their resources on the Wii U and Nintendo when they're not going to see anything back? Like the Sniper Elite game, I know they brought that over to the Wii U as well. They didn't put any features on it, which sucks. But at the same time, I cannot blame them. If they take all the features and the multiplayer and stuff away, well, Nintendo's online sucks. So why try to actually build a community on the Wii U's online when the infrastructure is so crappy? That's why Black Ops 2 didn't sell well on the Wii U. Because, I mean, yeah, they had the technology there, but online infrastructure is horrible. So what's the point? What is the point? At this point, I cannot be mad at the third-party developers because this time they really did try. They didn't just throw shovelware onto the console. They put, yeah, they were older games, but they had never been owned by Nintendo gamers. So they did what they could, especially in the beginning, but Nintendo didn't do what they could. And now the console is what? Going on 3 years now. It'll be 3 years in November. And it's just still, ugh. They've already announced a new console. Already announced a new one. They haven't talked about it, but they even know that their console sucks right now. And it's really sad because it has such great games on it, but they're only from Nintendo. And then it has so much potential. Stuff like Zombie U, I loved that game as a launch title. And it took Ubisoft, they had two really good games that used the Wii U gamepad better than Nintendo did. Um, Zombie U and then Rayman. Both of those games did a great job with the gamepad. Now, Ubisoft did kind of shaft Nintendo. I can't lie about that when it came to Rayman. But once again, can't blame them because they were seeing how the console sales were going and like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and put this on the other consoles too, but we're gonna hold it back and put it on the other systems. I think that was some shady stuff. They should have just released it on the Wii U first and then later put it out on the other systems because, you know, they kind of did the same thing with Watch Dogs, but in the opposite. They were making it for the Wii U, but they released it on Xbox, or everything else, and then they held back the Wii U version, and then they finally released it, and it's still crap, and they were supposed to be making it better. So Nintendo, they just do so much that holds them back. Like, away from just the regular gaming stuff, let's get to the YouTube thing and how they are the only ones who are so adamant about not having people play their games on YouTube without them collecting the money. Um, and giving people copyright strikes and everything. While, yes, they are entitled to do so because just because we are making content and talking over it, it is technically fair use because you're critiquing and everything, but that doesn't give us 100% right to do it, okay? I get that. I do. It's their stuff. They made it. It's their content, so they get to dictate how it's used. It's not the most popular thing that people are seeing here on the internet now because, well, with Let's Players and commentaries just being one of the biggest things on YouTube right now, it's pretty much it's free advertisement for them. But they don't see it that way, and they see it as, you know, people are watching people play their games and then they're not going to buy it. Some people, yes, that's true, and they feel like it's hurting the gaming market. So I mean, that's their opinion. That's fine, and they are entitled to do what they want to with their content. However, nowadays that is not the popular choice, and even game developers now, they are kind of embracing it and they allow it. And I mean, sometimes they have restrictions and things, and even with the PlayStation 4, when you're trying to stream certain games, it'll block certain content from being streamed, and then it'll go back to normal when you're streaming it from the PlayStation 4. So you know, they're trying to embrace this new digital age when it comes to that. And Nintendo, they're just so far behind when it comes to this kind of thing, and they don't understand the market. Um, so it's frustrating, and that brings me to the whole Angry Joe thing, where, well, I'm not even gonna touch on that right now, because as much as I like him, I don't really. I'll save that. I'm not gonna talk about it right now, but Nintendo just makes weird choices. Another thing that they're doing that is strange is they're putting all this focus on these amiibo. Where, okay, I have two of them. I have Link and I have Mega Man. And that's it. I probably won't get any more, but I just don't get how they don't have enough for mass production. Well, actually, I do get it. They're falsifying the lack of amiibo so that people will go out and buy, and then, oh, hey, look, we're gonna re-release some of these that you sold out, so you better go get it. It's sad that they have to depend on the sales of little amiibo things to offset the crappy sales of their system and their games. It's ridiculous, but that's their strategy right now, I can see, and I don't agree with it. Especially since Nintendo is very, very, very bad about releasing accessories and stuff barely using it, and then it's gone. So, I don't see this amiibo thing taking off, especially since it only holds stuff for one game and then it deletes it and you try to use it with something else, which is BS. But that's neither here nor there. Um, as a Nintendo fan from the NES till now, I have to say I'm very disappointed. Extremely disappointed. And the only way to let that disappointment be heard is when it comes to stuff like Splatoon and things like that, don't buy it. I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to support something that they are doing wrong. When they do something right and they do something well, of course, I purchase it and I support it. And I don't think enough people took those surveys on the Club Nintendo stuff seriously, because I did when I took stuff, and I would make sure I would support the YouTube stuff and say that, hey, I got this because I watched so and I'd actually type the name of the person. I watched this person's Chugga Conroy. I watched his LP of this and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to buy it. You know, I would do that kind of stuff to let my voice be heard, but I don't think a lot of people took that kind of stuff seriously. So what are your thoughts on what's going on with Nintendo right now? Are you a fan of what they're doing? Are you upset? Let down? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.